Sandwich right here? What kind of sandwich does that look like? A hamburger. Somebody else. What do you see? Yummy. What else do you see? Nobody knows? What? Might be. No. J. Keys, what do you think it might be? A curtain, maybe. What about this red stuff right here? Ryder, what do you think it is? You know? Alright, I'm gonna read a story. We're gonna find out, okay? Ever heard of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? Now do y'all know what my umbrella is about?
That's my book. I have that book.
You do? I'm gonna read it to y'all. I need everybody to listen. It says we were all sitting around the big kitchen betting on how many pancakes we could each eat. And Grandpa was doing the flipping. Can everybody see it?
Look at the dog.
The dog. I think the dog's wanting some pancakes. What do y'all think?
Where's the dog?
It was over in the corner. You couldn't see it right here. Seconds later, something flew through the air and headed toward the kitchen ceiling and landed right on Henry. You see that? What's on his head? A pancake. Look at Grandpa. After we realized that the flying object was only a pancake, we all laughed, even Grandpa. Breakfast continued quite uneventfully. All the other pancakes landed in the pan. All of them were eaten, even the one that landed on Henry. I think Henry was hungry. The best tall tale bedtime story he had ever told. What do you think it's about? What do you think it's about? Madison. What kind of story do you think he's gonna tell? Do you got pancakes? Alright, let's find out. Across the ocean, over lots of huge, bumpy mountains, across 3 hot deserts and 1 smaller ocean, there lie the town of Chew and Swallow. That's all Chew and Swallow. In most ways, it was very much like any other tiny town. It had a main cats and dogs. That sounds kind of like Suffolk, huh?
That's where my grandmother, my daddy, and my aunt and my grandpa live.
Yeah, but there were no food stores in the town. So there was no grocery stores in this town.
Why?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. They didn't need any. The sky supplied all the food they could possibly want. The only thing that was really different about Chew and Swallow was its weather. What kind of weather do you think they had?
I think they had food weather.
Food weather?
What? I wanted juice.
It came 3 times a day. At breakfast, lunch, and juice. Let's see what's raining today. It says whatever the weather served, that's what they ate. But it never rained, it never snowed, it never blew just wind. It rained like spoons.
And what's those circle things?
And sometimes the wind blew in storms of hamburgers. How would you like it if your food came from the sky? You would?
I don't want to get hit by a hamburger.
Me either.
Okay.
The people would watch the weather report on television in the morning, and then they would even hear a prediction for the next day's food. So people took them home and put them in their refrigerators in case they got hungry between meals. Or dog food. The menu varied. By the time they woke up in the morning, breakfast was coming down. After a brief shower of orange juice, low clouds of sunny side up eggs moved in, followed by pieces of toast. Butter and jelly sprinkled down for the toast, and most of the time it rained milk afterwards. For lunch one day, frankfurters already in their rolls. What's a frankfurter? Does anybody know? It's a hot dog. Hot dogs already in their rolls blew in from the northwest at 5 miles an hour. Can you imagine a hot dog hitting you in the head? Clearing with wonderful jello setting in the west. You see that jello?
I want jello. I want jello. I want jello.
Wait a minute. We're going to ask questions in a minute. The sanitation department of Chew and Swallow had a rather unusual job, for it had to remove the food that fell on the houses, sidewalks, and lawns. The workers cleaned up after every meal and fed all the dogs and cats. Then they emptied some of it into the surrounding ocean for the fish and turtles and whales to eat. The rest of the food was put back into the earth so that the soil be richer for the people's flower garden. Look at what they picked up all the food with. What does it look like? Caleb, what does it look like?
That, not same with the commotion. On the commotion, Charlie and Tita Meatballs, food was big.
Yeah, food was big. We're going to find out, though, okay? Life for the townspeople was delicious until the weather took a turn for the worst. What's going to happen?
No.
Keys, what do you think is going to happen?
Look, I know that.
Hold on. Jay Keys, what do you think is going to happen?
Like meatballs.
Maybe meatballs. Zena, what do you think? Do you know?
Yes.
We're going to find out. One day there was nothing but gorgonzola cheese, all peanut butter with mayonnaise. Another day there was pea soup fog. Now does everybody know what's the green stuff?
Pea soup fog.
Pea soup fog. No one could see where they were going, and they could barely find the rest of the meal stuck in the fog. Can you imagine walking around a pea soup fog all day?
No.
The food was getting larger and larger, and so were the portions. The people were getting frightened. Violent storms blew up frequently. Awful things were happening. One Tuesday, there was a hurricane of bread and rolls. All day long into the night, there were soft rolls and hard rolls, some with seeds, some without. Most of it was larger than they had ever seen before. It was a terrible day. Everyone had to stay inside. Roofs were damaged and the sanitation department was beside itself. The mess took workers 4 days to clean it up. And the sea was full of floating rolls. To help out, the people piled up as much bread as they could in their backyards. The birds picked at it a bit, but it just stayed there and got staler and staler. There was a storm of pancakes one morning and a downpour of maple syrup that nearly flooded the town. A huge pancake covered the school. What if the huge pancake covered our school? Because of its weight, so they had to close school.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they gotta take that pancake.
They can't get it off. They're trying everything.
They're trying everything they can do.
Lunch one day brought in jelly sandwiches. Everyone ate themselves sick, and the day ended with a stomach ache. That's a lot of food to eat, huh?
They don't need no more.
There was awful salt and pepper in the tomato. The town was a mess.
Oh.
So now do we know what that red circly thing was on my thing? What was it, Tanaja?
Tomato.
Tomato tornado. You'd want to leave that town too, huh?
I thought it was a dream.
No, it was a real town. According to the book, it's a pretend town.
Is it somebody You know what? That's a big donut.
I know.
On the chimney, that donut.
Their wraps.
The kids take selfie walkers. Look it out. There's a big sandwich and meatball.
That's what they're floating on.
Yep.
That's their boats. That's what they use for boats, guys.
You know, food fresh.
The children began. They found it was odd that food was kept on shelves, packaged in boxes, cans, and bottles. Meat was kept in large refrigerators out. Henry and I were awake until the very end of Grandpa's story. I remember his goodnight kiss.
Oh, that's why they make the house out of bread?
Because that's all they had.
But no wood.
One morning we woke up to see snow falling outside our window. We ran down